All right. I'm here with
Lewis, Stephen Lewis.
Detective Lewis, and I want to get a good look at these guys because they're extremely dressed, professionally and nice. All right, here we go. Detective Lewis and
Major Hensley.
Major Hensley. All right, these guys are important. Now I'm coming here concerning three complaints that I want to bring forth to you guys, and I also want to give you guys leads to the information that I was able to uncover that's happening in the records department as far as the corruption. Okay, all right. So, first complaint is going to be use of force with Officer Jordan Sisti and also Officer Yancey. And
Complaint for both.
yes, and Officer Sergeant Rambaran. He was the sergeant that was called out to the scene.
All the same incident.
Yes,
All right.
and that's a use of force, false arrest. I mean, false. You know, they made a false report and a whole slew of other things. I'm not going to get into that, but
What else?
they made false reports
Okay.
on the statements. They false arrested me.
You
They
said a slew of other things. What are
they beat me up. They followed me in the squad car. Both Yancey and Jordan. They followed me to the hangar here, and once we left with Officer Goodman, they followed me to Pinellas County and had me assaulted at the jail. And they both had separate squad cars because I think Officer Sisti is a fields training officer. He's an FTO. So him and Yancey used their squad cars. They had both of the squad cars following me out to the jail, and they had me beat up there. And I have that on tape. And the reason why it's a extreme issue because
which part on tape?
I have all of it, all but what Snyder deleted off of the first portion of the video, because it should be the part where he pulled his taser and Yancey had his gun.
And what was that on video? What kind of video?
That was the dash cam video.
And that got deleted.
Yes, sir. The first, I want to say the first 10 to 12 seconds got deleted.
Yeah, that date this happened.
1/30/2020 at approximately 12 o'clock
PM or
a.m.
And where did this happen?
28th Street and Central. Right at that gas station there. South. 28th Street and Central Avenue. So liquor store next to that. It's a gas station. It's a restaurant in that area.
I just had to place it. And which video you're saying?
Okay, if you the dash cam video, it was altered.
Which dash cam?
Jordan Sisti's dash cam video. Yeah. And Patricia Hubbard's in on it. All of them in on it.
Which
Everybody.
part?
Patricia Hubbard, she's in on it and everything.
On that night?
No, on 4/13/2020. I'll get to that.
You're saying was altered. Is it just the beginning was missed, or you're saying something
The
else?
beginning was missed, and he also deleted the sound. 15 seconds in. So you guys are doing your job. Richard Johnston came out here and played games. Tatum played games with it. Everybody else played games. You guys are doing a job.
Is there anything else from that date?
Okay, nothing from that date. Just they falsely arrested me. They had me assaulted. They beat me up, and that's what Snyder, aka Master Shredder, because he's in charge of the Shredder gang over here. He's a Snyder gang leader in the records department. And Betty Long, the Wicked Witch of the West, she's a member. Connie, grandmother Connie, she's a member. Carlos Santana, he's okay. Carlos Santana, he actually gave me the information that I have that actually allowed me to discover everything that they were doing wrong. So Carlos is absolutely okay.
And you said you had video of
Yes, actually, it's on the internet. If you look up, write these words down, 5 words: civil rights, justice for all.
So you just have the internet footage, you don't
No,
have
no,
any
no.
files
I
of
got,
this
I got, I got the actual footage from the police department, but they muted the sound in here. You guys have sound in here as well as video, right?
That I'm not sure, to be honest.
But yeah,
Audio
and
or the video.
that's what spawned all this. Snyder was under the knowledge, he was unaware that the camera out here, that camera out there, it records 24 hours right there.
Oh, the one outside?
Yeah, that camera records 24 hours, right? So when he had me illegally arrested out here for coming to pick up the records, once I discovered all this, once he had me illegally arrested out here, he gave me video from the top of that building over there and doctored it up, right? Because it doesn't even line up with what happened out here. And then I told him I couldn't have access to that because it only works when after hour streamings. So he's in control of the records department because he's an ex-cop in the civilian section, and he's cleaning up all the trash that the cops is doing this the unethical things that they're doing. He's in charge of cleaning it up. That's why I say he's the Snyder gang leader. And he thought it only records when you pick up the jack, when you pick up the phone after hours. But lo and behold, he didn't watch the transparency video that the chief did. This thing records like it's piping hot. This that camera right there,
No, I see it.
it records it records not just when you pick the phone up after hours, but it records 24 hours. And I had to send someone else in here, and she had a different, she had the complexion for the protection. She was a Caucasian female. I sent her in here to get my information, and they still didn't give me everything. And when I came in to try to get it all, they beat me up and had me handcuffed and all that stuff out here. And they made me, I was here for 4 hours to pick that stuff up. I was here for 4 hours, 4/13/2020. Nobody else was here. And the 3 people that was here,
Is this the next complaint?
yeah, that's the 4/13/2020. And it was people here, and I didn't disturb any of the activity that was going on, and they got that all down in the police report. Each one of the officers lied. Officer Timothy Montanari, okay? He's Larry. He's in charge of the 3 students, okay? Curly is George Lofton, okay? He's Curly. And Mo is Ramos. He's Mo, all right? And
First initial or name?
David Ramos. He's married. He's got Carla Ramos, his wife, I think. I could be wrong. Any good intuitive detective could be wrong from time to
So
time.
4/13/2020, those 3.
Yeah, the 3 students, they illegally arrested me out here, and they falsified all their report records. I got all of the records. They falsified them, right? And after they falsified them, they had me wait out here for I was here for 4 hours, 4/13/2020. They beat me up out here, dragged me down the steps, and they beat a young lady up out here who had she had an emergency situation out here because of what they did to her. And they wrote her my arrest information on her notice to appear. So when the DA got the information, they were like, hold on, wait, 2 people had the same report number? And that's how she was able to come down here and get partially some of those things. And then when I came down here, they beat me up, dragged me down the stairs. David Ramos got on top of me while I was handcuffed, and he gave me the 1-2. Like I got knocked out for a second, but he did that to me out there. They dragged me and put me in the squad car right in front of that building right there. And then Lofton and Monetary rode together in their squad car to take me to the jail, and they didn't have me looked at, even though I was unconscious. It was a use of force case. They didn't even put it in the system. While I was out here waiting, I called 911 and the non-emergency number. Hubbard was out here with Deloach and some other clowns. They were laughing out here, holding up the badge, right here, right up under this thing here. It's on the internet. It's on the internet. They were holding up the badge out here as a celebratory act, you know, laughing while I was getting assaulted and beat up, and then the young lady who was recording me out here, she got beat up too. So my complaint is with the use of force that happened here, the use of force that happened on 1/30/2020, and then me coming here, I called and I tried to get someone who was in charge of the building to come here. And Tatum told me that he had to train the police, he had to do a training at the police department, and there was nobody in charge. And I was asking, well, what time did you come
I
back?
didn't understand him say. He had to what?
No, Richard Johnston.
Yeah.
He had to do training at the police department.
Okay.
And he said nobody in charge of the police department was here for the whole day. And I was like, well, if you were gone early that morning,
You know what they?
I can get, if you call me, I can get it. Cause it's read the time in the video that I posted the video.
Months ago? Or
No, I'm
recent?
talking about like recent. Like when I posted the videos, that's written that next day, written that time frame. Yeah, because it was that next day. Because I called, I tried to get Master Shredder in there because that's Junior's name because he's the gang leader, the Snyder gang leader. I mean, he's Master Shredder. I tried to get Master Shredder to call the Office of Professional Standard. I tried to get him to call down there. He was like, I didn't call. You know, first I asked her to call down there, and then she contacted him, and then he told me he wasn't going to call there, and told me that nobody's here. So then I called back and asked Richard Johnston. I said, hey man, look, I came down here, and I told you I was going to communicate with you if it was an issue, and he was like, the phone call is on there. The phone call's on there. Everything's on there. The phone call with Tatum's on there. The phone call with Johnston's on there.
This is the one you're saying you're not sure the exact date, but it was right after. you
Yes,
posted
sir.
the video?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And was there anything else on 4/13/2020, or did we cover all that?
4/13/2020. Yeah, they beat me up out here, and they beat her out. They beat her up out there, and
What her name was?
I'll tell it to you in a second. Just so I want to put it on there, because you know.
Oh, on the video.
Yeah.
Gotcha. No worries. And then was there another thing on a different date, or was that it?
Or are you talking about when you talked to John? You said, originally you said 3 complaints.
Okay, yeah. The records department.
Explain that a little bit.
Okay, when I came here, right? I came in here to get 4/13/2020. I contacted my attorney, and she told me to come down because they gave me records. They were screwing up. Snyder.
You were trying to, excuse me, you were trying to get video or records.
Yeah, of what happened
for the
1/30/2020, right?
Okay. So this is all
Yeah, follow up. You know, I'm just being, you know, I'm paying attention, paying attention to detail because my life is totally in danger. I had to go to jail. I got beat up at the jail. Everything was a horrible experience. So I'm like, I'm making, you know, accountability. It's like it needs to happen. So when I came here, my attorney told me the office is closed. Come down here. They'll give me, I'll be safe. Come down here. They'll give me the records that belong to me, which was a disc of the squad car should be. I got a disc of a Caucasian male getting a warning by the speeding ticket and not having registration or something. So I came back here, bought it back. I had Snyder memorialize it by signing his Hancock on it. You know, saying that, hey, look, the transport vehicle didn't exist. The sound on that on Jordan Sisty's field training officer cam didn't exist. Just the audio part only existed. I got all of that. I got the disc where the sound exists too. So I got all of that stuff, and I was letting him know, hey man, look, if I was to fall down and die right here, and my last words is let you know, hey, look, it's sound on that video. Something's been altered. Could you check it out? And he was like, oh no, I promise, you know, we can't do that. And he had me sit here in the lobby. And then when Monterey came, Monterey called Lofton. Monterey called Lofton and Ramos. Ramos and Lofton came. They made me go to the lobby and go out here and sit down. I sat out here for 45 minutes. They left. They came back. They immediately arrested me. They didn't. 4/13/2020. Coming in.
Waiting on
Yeah, that's right. He told me to wait, and that's what the waiting was for. It was waiting for to get arrested. So they got in the reports, and that's why I want to complain about the false reports that all those 3 officers, senior officers, did. Tim Montanari, senior officer.
Yep.
George Lofton, senior officer. Ramos, he's a puppy, but he's still in the he in the mix. He's been in the game for a long time. Okay, so I was coming to, they need to be dealt with because they came out here under Hubbard's command. Because when I read the paperwork after they didn't want to give it to me, and I got it because they sent it to me in the mail. I normally have to come down here and pay for it, but it's like they're giving it to me now. So they sent it to me in the mail, and when I read it, it said that they communicated to Hubbard, and none of this stuff went through the system. All this stuff was going straight through their cell phones. They were deleting the phones, having a little party out here. So Hubbard told him to come back and arrest me.
I'm sorry, what was on the cell phones?
They were calling each other. Monetary called George Lofton and Ramos, and they were deleting the phone calls because they didn't go through the dispatch to come out here. They didn't use none of that. The conversation they was having over here and all that stuff behind the wall, all that stuff is not even in the system. The only person that know about it is me and them, and I was able to document it. That's the only reason why I was able to get to this point. So when we came out here, they did that. They went ahead and did that little play. They took me to jail, and they had me beat up and all that stuff. And I've been like trying to stay away from coming here. And I went to the old police department, which was City Hall, to No Prevail to talk to the mayor 2 times. And then I tried to talk to the chief. Every time I come down here, he's in that lobby right here for 2.5 hours cooling out. Actually, he was in this lobby when they would beat me up outside. They had handcuffed me outside, right? Lofton, Ramos, and Monetary handcuffed me out here and said that they drew up a play and said that I tried to aggressively attack Montanari. And Ramos stopped the attack from happening. I had my cane in my back brace because Yancey and Jordan just jacked me. They just beat me up. And then when they took me to the jail, they had Sergeant Morton and Sergeant Mitchell at the jail beat me up. And I complained about it happening at the jail, and they didn't do anything about it either. And
You complained to Pinellas?
Yes, sir. And they doctored the evidence too from the records department. So both agencies got an issue with the integrity of the records department. Snyder if you're innocent, he's taking all the information that'll make you innocent and he's deleting it. So you'll get whatever you'll get, but it won't prove your innocence. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. And he knows that. And if you look up, check this out, write this down. Look up When the Truth Can't Be Bought, and also look up Snyder's Walk of Shame. That was the first time I walked in here and approached him with the stuff that he did to me, asking for records. And they knew my name. They had a packet this big from Internal Affairs. Now, how silly is this?
I'm sorry, those 2 things you just told us to look up. You're saying that's on your website?
That's on the YouTube. Now, if you want to see it on Google, you go to Google St. Petersburg Police Department corruption documentary. You can catch it on Google.
So good contact information. Or do you want to tell us?
Yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah, so they did that out there to me. They beat the young lady up. They wrote down, they had the other, now it's who's the major out here who rolls with Johnston? I call him Madonna,
I'm
the blonde
Johnston's
bombshell. No, you're not Johnston.
I'm Johnston's major,
Ooh, okay.
but I've never met you.
Okay, yeah, I never met you either. I'm saying she rolls with him. She's a female. She has long hair. She's a major or a detective. She rolls with Johnston. It's not Perry, and it's not Tatum. It only got 4. She's the
No other
female.
females.
Okay, if you go on the site, you'll see her.
Okay.
But when I was explaining everything to her, explaining everything to Johnston out here, she was about to have an anxiety attack. She was about to fall down. I promise you, I'm not making it up. Study the video. You guys are intuitive detectives. Study the video. She was out here about to fall down, and the reason why, because on 4/13/2020, she was out there helping Hubbard and the other the detective. They were drawing up the play to sweep it under the rug. And when she heard me bringing everything up, recounting everything, she almost was about to fall down. Promise you. And she's walking right back in there with Tatum. That's why I was like, you know what? I don't trust Tatum. Little Richard. I don't trust Little Richard.
Which video would that be on?
That would be
That'd the When the
on.
Truth Can't Be Bought, or the
No,
one
that
that's
would be on Turning Up the Fire on the Snyder Gang. Turn Up the Heat on the Snyder Gang.
Can Can we get your contact information? so we
Yeah,
can
certainly.
go back?
Let me shut this down. Thank you guys. And your name again is
Major Hensley,
Major Hensley, and he's stellar. And also
Detective Lewis.
Detective Lewis, he's stellar. And I just want to let you guys know how fresh these guys came. Check it out. You never know how fresh you gotta look at work. He was fresh.
appreciate it,
And then you never know how fresh you gotta look at work. Bam,
appreciate it.
he was fresh. All right, signing out. Thank you very much.